Hello, everyone. I know it's hard to believe, but we are now in the 10th week of the semester. I know it's been pretty quick, but that's where we're at progress-wise. This is also the week that we're going to finish out the Victorian era. So it'll be the last week that we're in the textbook that you've been doing your readings out of. Only one thing to read this week, but it is the longest thing that we'll be reading this semester, and that is the Man Who Would Be King by Rudyard Kipling. Rudyard Kipling is an interesting person. If you've heard of him, it's because he's the one who wrote The Jungle Book, which the Disney movies are based off of. So that's what he's most famous for. But he's also very famous for this story. This story was made into a movie back in 1975, starring Sean Connery and Michael Caine as Peachy and Daniel. So that's a good movie to watch if you want to, but it's not a substitute for the story because the movie's much longer and it's much more in-depth and things like that. The interesting thing to note here is that the tactics that Daniel and Peachy are going to use to conquer these Kaffiristans are almost identical to the tactics that England used to conquer and unite India into one great big subcontinent. Because India, prior to the arrival of the British, was a lot like these Kaffiristans are going to be. They were a bunch of tribes. They weren't one like united nation. So they were a bunch of tribes that the British would use domination and fear through its advanced weaponry and through making these Indians think that they were gods in order to become a territory of England. And that's the same kind of tactics that Peachy and Daniel, who are a couple of ne'er-do-wells, are actually going to use to conquer this Kaffiristan, which would be about where Afghanistan is today. So don't forget to read that and do your paper. Make sure you have time to read it because, again, it's going to be the longest reading of the semester. Also this week, we're going to have the Victorian exam. So most of you did take the Romanticism exam when the time was right. And now this is the week for the Victorian exam. So don't wait till the last minute to do all your work this week. Make sure that you get the both the Man Who Would Be King stuff done and the Victorian exam done. And it'll be the same way. I've got a study guide in the folder for you. It'll be a few general knowledge questions. It will be some quotes, and they will all be multiple choice. All right, so that's it for this week. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me. Please, since the exam is worth so much on your overall grade, don't forget to do it.